Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Joshua. We're looking at Joshua chapter 24, his farewell address to the children of Israel. We've looked so far at the first 8 verses in which Joshua begins to recount for them their salvation history. How it began with Abraham and God's call upon him to go to a promised land, to be his person, to belong to the Lord, to worship no other gods. Abraham did that. The family of Abraham became the family of God then, his people. They later developed into tribes, 12 tribes from the 12 sons of Jacob, of course. God's nation, God's inheritance. Go down to Egypt. You remember they are enslaved there for 4 centuries, and then God delivers them with a powerful hand. He saves them and makes them his people. And then after 40 years in the wilderness, they're prepared to enter the promised land. That's what begins in verse 8. He tells them about how they took the promised land. I brought you out to the land of the Amorites who lived east of the Jordan. Now, east of the Jordan, that's the territory on the east side of the Jordan River that they conquered before they entered the promised land proper. Remember, that became the land of Gilead, and the tribes of Reuben and Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh inherited that. That was the first part of the conquest. I gave you the lands of the Amorites east of the Jordan. They fought against you, but I, the Lord says, gave them to your hands. I destroyed them from before you, and you took possession of their land. Now when Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against Israel, he sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to put a curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam. So he blessed you again, and I delivered you out of my hand. Reminds them of that interesting time when the king of Moab, afraid of the Israelites, even though they didn't take the land of Moab, the king of Moab was afraid of them. So he sent for the prophet Balaam, who lived to the north, to come and curse them. But God would not allow Balaam to curse them. He blessed them instead, because God's hand is with his people. People of Israel are his inheritance. He will not allow any prophet, much less Balaam, to bring a curse on them. So Joshua reminds them of how God gave you the land east of the Jordan and prevented curses from coming upon you, turned them into blessings. He gave you the land. Verse 11, and then you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. Now this is when Joshua takes active leadership. The citizens of Jericho fought against you. You know, that's the famous episode where the walls fell. As did also the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, but I gave them into your hands. Notice how many people were in Canaan, how many were your enemies, and yet I gave them into your hands. Listen, you did not conquer the land on your own. Joshua's reminding them of this. You didn't do it. God did it. He gave the land to you. I sent the hornet ahead of you, which drove them out before you, as also did the 2 Amorite kings. You did not do it with your sword or your bow. I gave you a land on which you did not toil, and cities which you did not build. And now you live in them, and you eat from vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Everything in the promised land is yours by my hand, says the Lord. Joshua's reminding them. This is their salvation history. You did not do any of this on your own. God did it for you. It's all by the gracious providence of his hand. So they review their history from the time of Abraham, the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the 12 sons of Jacob, who became the beginnings of the tribes, their time in Egypt as slaves, their deliverance, their conquering of the land east of the Jordan, and their conquering of the promised land. It was all done by the hand of the Lord. Their enemies could not even curse them with a prophet. The prophet Balaam had to bless them, all by the hand of the Lord. Joshua's reminded them of their history and how God's hand has always been upon them, how God has always blessed them, how God has fulfilled every promise he made to them. And now they're in possession of the land. So Joshua recounts their salvation history, and now he says, what are you going to do about it? I want you to make a decision about what you're going to do. God has given you all of this. What are you going to do in the days going ahead? What are you going to do? You must make a choice. Will you be faithful to the Lord or not? After hearing their salvation history, now they're ready to choose. So Joshua says, now fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. He lays the choice before them. You know what God's done for you. Now choose to serve him with all faithfulness. That's always the choice God gives us. He provides everything by grace. He saves us by grace. But we must choose to believe in him and to serve him with all faithfulness. And that is the choice Joshua gives to them. In effect, he is renewing their covenant with God. He is renewing their covenant, reminding them to once again choose the Lord, believe in him, serve him, and him only. You remember how long ago Abraham left behind those other gods. He came to serve only the Lord, the true God. You must do the same, Israel. Serve the Lord with all faithfulness. Now, he's got more to say about this renewing of the covenant, and we'll look at that in tomorrow's session. So join us next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Joshua.